Hey, welcome back to Dad Life Chess. This is Joel, and it is time for our daily training game. We're going to play a 10-minute game here on chess.com. I have been, well, it's the dad life. So in the evenings, I'm able to do some study or stream, and in the mornings, I basically have a little bit of time before all the kids are awake and the day gets started. So it's early. We have a Chigorin style setup against the London system. This is always it's always a wild game. There's a lot of potential for a kingside attack for black. Sometimes this bishop drops back and gets taken, and then all these pawns come rolling. So yeah. Part of me thinks I'm just going to play c4 here. Against the Chigorin, c4 is oftentimes a good reply. The bishop out here, I have queen now over to b3, so we'll see what goes on here. This is a decent game. Even bishop f5, I was going to say bishop f5. I have... just going to play knight c3. Takes, oh, sorry. So they have that. Okay. That's kind of a unique idea. I guess they're basically saying, hey, we want to take and we want to push this pawn and we want to save it. So no real reason for me not to just take this. I think I will drop my bishop back. And this bishop with the rook here possibly could cause some problems in the future. This bishop is okay. I don't really want to take here and allow his bishop into a dominant square. So yeah, not too worried about that. I do have this. I mean, that's a thing. This pawn push right here. He takes here, and now I have a really strong center. But the thing I'm more concerned about right now is just developing. I'm thinking about getting my pieces out. I'm playing knight f3, bishop d3 kind of a thing, and see what we're doing here. So, okay, so my opponent says, hey, what you gonna do? Now, there is a potential for... there's a potential for knight b4, and now since there's two pieces on b4, part of me says, hey, should I just exchange off the bishop? Just get this bishop here. I could play a3, but I'm a little down in development. This bishop is going to cause more issues. Perhaps the idea is takes, maybe takes, and then knight here. Just have to drop back a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. Let's encourage the exchange. I'm okay with the exchange. He does have this. Now that he has that, I think I'm just going to simply play a3, stopping this action, and we'll see what we got. Bishop d6, I can just play knight f3. Okay, so he's just going to go back. Yeah, let's just play knight f3. Probably bishop d6, I would imagine, yeah. And then I'm thinking rook c1, b5, b4. I do have options of bishop h5 right now, h4, I mean, bishop h4. Kind of really contesting. This bishop, I don't know. There's always, I actually have seen some things about this where you really don't want to allow the exchange on g3, because they'll oftentimes castle queenside, or they will keep their king in the center, and I've seen these pawn storms kind of happen. So I don't know. I think I'm actually going to play bishop h4 and see what my opponent does. Keep some pressure on this knight. Yeah, I was gonna say that's common. That's a common thing that happens. They'll just drop it back. Yeah, let's just castle. There's no need to be fancy. Yeah, so I think this bishop exchanging on e7 is better, and I have ideas of just playing. I'm just gonna play. Oh, you know what? This is possibly a threat. So I think I'm gonna play my rook to d1, rook fd1, and just getting my rooks centralized. Pushing this is a possibility because he had e5. He had an e5 possibility because my queen was undefended. But hope everyone is doing well. Thanks again for watching. If you are watching this video, I appreciate it. Okay, so he says he wants to take. He wants to push here. So I'm actually just very, very tempted to just take and to push. But I appreciate the subscriptions there. Please do subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Always appreciate it. I always joke around. I'm a very small channel, just starting out. So if you leave a comment, there's a high possibility, if you're not just throwing shade and saying something negative, I will probably respond in a positive manner. So appreciate it. For those that have supported the channel already, I appreciate that for sure. Okay, so I have to ask the question. Is it the end of the world if my opponent is able to play g5, bishop g3, and then knight h5 or something like that? I just don't think it is. I don't think it's that big of a problem. So I just feel like they're going to be the ones. Yeah, I don't want to preemptively take. Here's a rule of thumb. Don't just preemptively make exchanges. Only make exchanges when they're of value to you. I think that's the general rule of thumb. I oftentimes do not follow those rules, and I mess it up many a time. So this bishop's got a situation going down here, so I'm thinking maybe here and here. Provoke some weaknesses. Yeah, this also is an option. You know, I play here. Takes. Actually, here. Where's that knight going? I go here. This is. Yeah, because here, this knight has to go somewhere. Let's say he goes here. Then I have this. He just pushes. My knight gets in the center. I kind of like that. I kind of like this. I think this is a good option here. And so, yeah, so without his rook on the A file anymore, he's going to guard this C pawn, which basically, I guess in queen pawn games, they say you should not put your knight in front of your C pawn. But, you know, this is 2021. You can basically make any move, and the Stockfish is like, yeah, that's all right. We got you. We found a line. We found a line. So I'm always leery by saying, oh, this is not a great opening, because basically I don't play great openings. And until I get to be, I don't know, master strength, if that ever happens, I don't think it actually really matters. I think 99% of my games are either won or lost beyond the opening, or some opening mistake, or the middle game, or tactics in the end game. All of those things I think matter infinitely more than whether or not you play a really great opening. So playing the Chigorin, it's awesome. I actually used to play the Chigorin. I really enjoyed it. I just didn't, some of the lines were so like they were not intuitive. Like I would play them and I'd be thinking, yeah, I'm never going to think to put my piece there. So yeah, sometimes you just got to play old man boring chess. That's the dad life. That's the dad life. So my opponent's thinking, there's not a lot my opponent can do. This, I did notice that this square right here is kind of weak, but it's not an issue too much because here I can take, oops, I can take, okay, let's calculate this actually. Here I can take, he takes, or let's say if I go there and he just goes here, there's this as well. This is hanging-ish. He goes here, I go here. That's an option. Yeah, my opponent I don't think is going to take, actually. I think my opponent's calculating knight a5. And so if that's the case, knight a5, if knight a5, you know what I think I need to do? Let's just take on f6. Knight a5, I take on f6. I stop the bishop from attacking this pawn. And unless my opponent wants to take back with the pawn, and I highly doubt that, I will just be taking with this right here. And then possibly ganging up on the a pawn. And so yeah, because getting this bishop off of this this diagonal, I can't draw arrows. It's too early in the morning. Not able to draw arrows. So let's see here. Yeah, my opponent's in a think here. Going into the think tank. It doesn't say they've disconnected, so they're probably thinking. But yeah, okay, let's just calculate this. Obviously takes, all right, if they take, I like the idea of getting my knight here. I'm protecting this. I am causing this to not be an issue because the queen is guarding. Also, this knight is being attacked. So they have to do something about the knight. And then I have things of like dropping my bishop down to g3 and really putting a lot of pressure on the c7 square. They push. The queen takes. Let's look this up. Queen takes. Now this might be even more powerful. This knight really is in a pickle. Hold on a second here. Okay, pawn takes, queen takes. This knight is being attacked. This pawn is being attacked. Now this pawn is also being attacked by the bishop, but that is okay. They have to do something with this knight. Queen here. I can save the pawn. And here, there's a lot of stuff. I think queen take is the correct answer. Now my opponent's time is going down quite a bit. I don't know if my opponent is... I surely hope my opponent is not just allowing his time to go out. That would be annoying. Full disclosure, I don't have a ton of time when I'm recording these. So if my opponent allows his time to run out, we will use this one as an instruction of the opening. We will go back over it and then hopefully learn something in the opening. I don't really have time to record a second video here, so you're getting what you're getting. That's basically what I'm win, lose, or draw. This is what we got today. Hopefully, I really do hope my opponent's not just letting his time run out. That would be kind of an anticlimactic way to finish this game. But can my opponent beat me with 1.5 minutes left? By all means. This has happened before. when I've played, and I'm thinking, man, my opponent's letting their time run out, and then all of a sudden the game ends, and I'm the one that lost, and I'm like, what? Because I somehow lost connection to the server, and I'm thinking to myself, what? But I think since then, chess.com has like greatly improved their notifications. You get these little bars down here. It shows if you have very low lag or whatever, or how your connection is to the internet. And once it's like poor, it'll go like yellow or orange, and then it goes red. So that's a thing. Yeah, this is definitely not turning out so hot for my opponent here, who is in the deep think. Unless my opponent is like 100% trolling me and can just beat me with like 10 seconds left on the clock. Hey. Yeah, it's not looking like that. So I guess, hey, if you've watched this video up till this point, I appreciate it. We're going to go over the opening, and we're going to see where my opponent maybe could have improved, see where we could have improved. And by we, I mean me. I'm not trying to throw you in on that, because you're just there like watching the video and you're thinking to yourself like, this is not my problem. This is not my problem. Okay, well, we went on time. I don't know what to say. I think my opponent definitely maybe just didn't like the position he was seeing. So maybe our opponent is also part of the dad life and had stuff to do with the fam, and the kids were screaming. I've been in that situation. I've lost many a blitz game, many a game, because more important things are calling, right? So, okay, when they play this this kind of structure, and actually, because they didn't play an early bishop f5, which I oftentimes see, well, even then I'll still play c4. But then you get things like this. You have to go here. You know, there's things that you have to be mindful of. But c4, I think, is the most principled move. Again, this is kind of one of those situations where as you play the London system and you learn more about it, you learn more of the nuances of the London system. And so a6, I think the idea is, like, if I were to just like zoom out and look at this game on a more critical level, I think my opponent played a lot of moves that just didn't develop pieces. You know, develop your pieces, castle, connect your rooks. That's what you got to do. You got to do that in the opening. And I guess the idea maybe was to basically take and then guard this pawn, but I was basically able to just continue developing. Now here, my opponent is actually threatening to take, and there's enough defense for me not to be able to push d5. At least that's what I'm thinking when we're going to go back and look at the analysis. So I took, and then my opponent obviously didn't really want to give up his bishop, so he takes with the knight. That possibly was an inaccuracy as well, because look at this. Now he's got to move this back and do something with this bishop. There's a lot of extra moves. I just dropped back because he is attacking my bishop. He plays there. I exchange again. I'm actually wondering if that was a better choice or not. I'm not sure. Stopping here. He's moving extra pieces. Moving pieces multiple times in the opening. It's probably not a good thing. And here we have this, and then here my opponent basically did a long resign. So, all right, let's go ahead and look at this. You know, it was funny because like all the way through it really wasn't that bad. Now I did miss an opportunity, I think, for a really good move, and we're going to look at that as we go through. So this is all standard stuff. Let's look at the opening here. Yeah, all of this is pretty standard stuff. My opponent could play in this position bishop f5, bishop g5, g4. There's options like that. Bishop e6 is a blunder. Interesting. This is really interesting. There is a move here that already essentially wins for white. This is a great This is a great puzzle, actually. I'm going to screenshot this. I'm going to screenshot this because, boom, boom. I screenshotted that because I'm gonna post that on Twitter. This is a good move. This is a good I don't know what you would call it. A good opening puzzle when your opponent makes moves that are maybe not principled, kind of out of the ordinary. There may be a way to punish it. So if you want to pause the video and see if you can see what I did not see, this is a good, it's very instructional. And controlling the center. All right, the move is E4. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Any pawn that, any take, so like, let's say D takes E4. Boom. Right? And then here we have this, and let's say they now take here. We're still on it. Okay, so you don't want to do that. They have the option of E4. But there's two pieces being attacked. Simply drop back. This guy's going to drop. This guy's going to drop. One of these is going to drop. Okay, so takes. I'm thinking knight here and then here. Now, it's not like the most clean, clear position in the world. However, white's up a piece. And this guy's not doing so hot. Yeah, this is definitely something to think of. So bishop e6 was a mistake. E4, if they take here, it's even easier for white. So the best one was probably taking here, and then even things like if they go here to try to get away from that, you literally just play f3. And look at this center. Look at this center. This pawn is falling because this is going to come back. Let's say it's going to go. If it goes all the way back here, that's just murderous. This is just a beast. This is resigns time. So yeah. So I missed that opportunity. Takes, and my opponent took with a knight, which is better. I drop back here. Knight or bishop. That's okay. I guess none of these are like really that bad. Boom. A6 is definitely, A3 is an inaccuracy. They're just saying just play. Knight f3. Even if this, allowing this, castles, and if they do something like this, you have this, and there's still, you can work on the B file. So yeah, I think my move A3 was like one of those moves. I was just afraid of ghosts, and I didn't need to worry about that. My opponent, of course, is moving multiple times. Same piece in the opening. Not a wise choice, unfortunately, for him. So let's see. Knight f3, bishop d6. What was the best move in this position? Just rook c1, allowing... Actually, ironically, bishop h4. Bishop h4. Look at that. The computer is starting to see what I saw. What did I see? I don't know what I saw. I just was trying not to exchange... I didn't want to exchange this bishop here and allow him to have this two central pawns again. So bishop h4 is the second most. E4. E4 is actually a move here that is a good move. So bishop h4, still a good move. Bishop e7, excellent. Castles. Rook f. They're saying rook a c1. That actually is not a bad idea. I was just thinking about that. Actually, this rook is doing something, and kind of later in the game we saw later in the game ended in a few moves, but this is actually my second learning point. After bishop e6, bishop e6 playing e4, that's my first learning spot. And then right here, where are we at? After castles, right here, what to do with the rooks. I'm often, when a rook needs to be brought to a file, I often don't know what to do. Like, which rook should I use? And And I've heard that you basically ask yourself which rook is doing the least good in the position it's at. And obviously you don't want to, you know, mess up. You need a rook on the D file. You don't want to bring this rook all the way over here because then you have to come back and everything like that. So this rook is actually going to serve a purpose. We're going to be attacking on the queen side. This is a good, this was a memory marker for me. This was a memory marker. So the computer is saying, bring this rook over. Now you can launch these pawns, and this rook is still going to be doing some good. This rook's really not doing anything. I don't really ever have a chance where this rook's going to be doing anything on the F file, but this rook definitely. Okay, so yeah, I played rook F. I played rook F D1. All right, wrong file, more than likely. Not a lot going on here, and I ended up bringing this rook over here. So I think that was definitely an inaccuracy. I think these rooks belonged here and here. Now that I see that, he played rook e8. I played b4. It's still okay. My opponent, they're saying here, just get these pawns exchanged. Rook c8, and then see, even b5. b5 is an inaccuracy. b5, if we go from here, they're saying here I take with the queen and then just... This is why I need to calculate better, guys. That knight was never hanging. So yeah. This does not feel like a win. I didn't play well. My opponent didn't play well. I don't know what to say. My opponent allowed me to win on time. And yeah. Not the greatest. Not the greatest. What can I say? Learned some things. Learned a couple things, actually. Two memory markers for me were here on move 5. And the idea is push e4. Get that center. And then after castles, asking yourself what to do with the rooks. And the rooks need to be here. I'm sorry. The rooks need to be on these files. So, yeah. Hey, thanks for watching. What can I say? Neither one of us really won. Neither one of us really drew. It was just an opening. It was basically training the opening. Opening training. Opening training. That's what this is. Yeah. So, hey, we'll take the rating points. We need them badly after a dismal few games last night playing on stream. But yeah, we could we'll take the points. We'll take the points, and we'll take the instruction that we learned. That's it. All right. Well, hey, thanks for watching Dad Life Chess. Please do subscribe. Helps the channel out. Helps me out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this unique video, where we basically just learned an opening and then quit the game. So, right on. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.